Assalamualaikum warahmatullahi wabarakatuh. My name is Muhammad FARHAN. So I'm the first one to present. So for question one, according to the system function of Sophia Hotel, prepare a storyboard on the registration and login function of the system. You are required to follow the step list in the detail and show it in the storyboard. Okay, for panel one, registration. So we use the white background, and then the blue one is the box for form. So first we use form to register as usual. We will ask for full name, email, telephone number, identification number, address and password, and then press register to register. Okay, for panel 2 is verification. So after you put your email on the first panel, the first form, the software hotel will ask you to put the email verification link. So it will email you the code just to make sure that you're using a right account and not a scam. And then for panel 3, login. So after you register and then put the verification code, they will ask you to re-log in. So to make sure you already have create an account. So put username, email, and then put your password, and then can press login.
Assalamualaikum. My name is Muhammad Syafiq Ali bin SUDIRMAN. My metric number 10 DDT FF1120. Okay. First number one, successful attendance recording. Okay. In this case, I have four. For the test case one, verify that the RFID reader detects the student card. For input, valid student RFID card. Expect output, successful detection of the student card. Test case 2, verify that the system verifies the registered student. Input, valid student FRFID card. Expect output, system verifies the registered student. Test case 3, verify that the system record student attendance. Input, successful verification of registered student. Expect output, student name, date and time recorded in the system. Test case 4, verify that the system display the recorded attendance. Input, successful recording of the student attendance As per output, student name, date, and time display on the user interface. Okay, for fail attendance recording, have 3 case. In test case, system verify system response to an invalid RFID card. Input invalid student RFID card. Expected output error. This message displayed indicating fail detection or verification. Test case, fail test case for number 2. Verify system respond to unregistered student. Input RFID card of a non-registered student. Expected output error message display indicating fail verification. Third, verify system respond to system errors. Input system malfunction or communication failure. Expected output error message display indicating system failure. That's all for me. Thank you.
Hi, Assalamualaikum. My name is FARIS bin MAHAZAN. My meeting number is 10DDT22F1139. So the third one is test data. There are 4 points on test data. So the first one, invalid student RFID card, invalid student RFID card, RFID card for a non-registered student, system error condition, example communication failure. So the first point is, so for example, I'm a student and SYAFIQ is not. So the system RFID reader gonna valid my student RFID card because I'm a student. So the second point is where it's in the system is invalid student RFID card, where for example SYAFIQ have RFID card but he's not a student. So the system is say invalid student RFID card for SYAFIQ, for example. And RFID card for a non-registered student. So RFID card for non-registered student is, for example, for a guest who came to school to look after the system. So for example, we have my parents. For example, I'm a student and my parents came to school to meet me there. So for example, my student have RFID card for student, for parents. So they're gonna tap and the system is gonna record my parents meet up with me in the school. And the fourth one is system error condition. So what is system error condition? So for example, system error condition where I have RFID card but not the specific RFID card for this system. So for example, I have TNG RFID card. So when I'm tap on RFID card, RFID reader is gonna read but it's not gonna let in the system. So test environment. Hardware RFID card reader device, student RFID card. Software is RFID school alternate system, database and user interface. Test execution. Execute each test case in the specific order. Record actual outcomes. Compare actual outcome with specific outcomes. Document any discrepancy and report finding. So for this test execution is we're gonna execute each test case on specific order. For the first example, is validation of student RFID, RFID for invalid for student RFID, and RFID card for non-registered student, and system error condition. And we're gonna record the actual outcome and compare to actual outcome with expected outcome. So I'm expect that this system is gonna work smoothly without any error. So the fourth one is document any discrepancy and report finding. So we're gonna make a report about this system and send to our client. Okay, next one is test deliverable. Test plan document, test execution report, any identify issue or bugs. So this is test plan document. So what is test plan document? Test plan document. So for example, I'm trying that take a Shango RFID card on the RFID reader, so that the system is gonna let in it or no. So that's a test plan document. So what plan test I have, I'm gonna document it. Test execution report and identify issue or bug. So I'm gonna identify, we gonna identify any issue or bugs. Test criteria. All test case should pass without discrepancy. System response times should be within acceptable limits. Error handling should be effective in all scenarios. These dependencies: availability of RFID reader device and student RFID cards, proper functioning of database and user interface. So for test criteria, we're gonna test for the same. We're gonna test all tests without discrepancy, and system should be response time in acceptable limits. Error handling should be effective in all scenarios. We're gonna make it error handling, so if there is a bug or error, we're gonna handle it should be effective in all scenarios. So for example, maybe someone switch up student card or something like that. And dependency: availability of RFID reader device and student RFID card. So all student gonna get student RFID cards for each person. Proper functioning of database and user interface. This is proper functioning of database and user interface, like it says on this presentation. And that's all for our team. Assalamualaikum warahmatullahi wabarakatuh, and thanks for watching